Hey everybody, how's it going? Joe's Neon here. Checking in, and yes, it's true, I got tagged. I've been tagged by a really good buddy of mine, Chris Killinger. If you don't know his channel, go check it out. It's just simply Killinger, Killinger. Awesome channel, great guy. He was tagged by the originator of this tag, who is Dave Whipple. Yeah, Bush Radical. Dave is a great guy. Dave's been on Alone, him and his wife, and I want to congratulate Brooke. She's been welcomed back for another series of Alone. That's so awesome, Brooke. Very cool. And this tag is about literature or books that have influenced you or helped you in the outdoors. I'm not going to necessarily just say survival books, and I don't think that Dave really meant it to be just books on survival, but books that inspired you when it comes to where you are today with your outdoor experiences and what influence they may have had on why you enjoy the outdoors today. So, Chris, thanks a lot, buddy, for tagging me. This is going to be fun. I had to do some thinking. And I'm glad I did because, yeah, I got a lot of books, you know, on the outdoors and kayaking, hiking, backpacking, snowshoeing, telemark skiing, backcountry skiing. I've got all kinds of literature on that kind of stuff. But honestly, it was really easy for me to select these three pieces of literature, these three books. It was really easy for me to select. But what I would like to start off by sharing with you folks is I was not educated in the outdoors through books. I was educated in the outdoors being an infant in diapers, camping with my mom and my dad and my sister. We were camping as infants in our diapers in the Adirondack Mountains. Yeah, we stayed in public campgrounds, but I've stayed in public campgrounds from Florida to Maine. I was very, very fortunate. So, when you spend that kind of time in the woods, even though you're in a public campground, you know, I would take it home with me, and that's all I would do as a kid. I had my forts out in the woods. I had my, you know, they call them what, bug out shelters, or I had camps. I had little camps all over the place where I would make really cool teepees out of pine poles, and then I'd cover them in boughs and put a little fire pit in the middle. It was fantastic, and that's what I did as a kid. But then, once I got old enough, is where I'm going to start this tag, okay? And that is going to be my first pick, hands down. Not even going to think twice about it. Bam! Boy Scouts of America Handbook. I'm really sad about what's going on with the Boy Scouts of America today. Yep. Now the girls can be in the Boy Scouts. Hey. I guess that goes along with the theory today that you get a trophy for last place. You know? Don't get me started on the whole sheeple thing, but anyhow. This book here, before I went to my fourth meeting, meetings were once a week. Before I went to my fourth meeting, I had this entire book read. I don't read. I never liked reading. I do now. I couldn't get enough. When you know, you open a book like this, you have navigation. You have, you know, you have knots. If you want to know about knots, you know, construction of shelters, you know, putting up shelters, tarp shelters. The Boy Scout Handbook is has absolutely taught me the most about every skill that I need in the outdoors. And I have applied everything within these pages. Now, what's kind of neat is I had a viewer send this to me, Stephen Dickinson. Oh no, my buddy in New Hampshire. I'm sorry, I can't come up with your name right now, my friend. Yes, this was the 7th edition, 7th printing, and it was printed in 1971. Look at the price. $1.25. $1.25. Go to a garage sale. Find one of these things. If younger folks are out there and you're wondering how to get involved in bushcrafting, survival, the outdoors, camping, hiking, enjoying the outdoors, this is a good place to start. This is only my opinion. This is what really got me going. Okay? And the experiences that came along with this. All right, one down. The next one is, I think I was probably about 12 years old. I think I was more like 10 years old when I discovered this fantastic book in a drop box in our library. And I saw the cover and I said, geez, that looks good. And I read this book. This book was another book besides the Boy Scouts that I read cover to cover. You know, I didn't like to read, but when I got so interested, this book just overtook me, okay? Now the cover's gone. The cover's fallen off and I've had to use a piece of duct tape as a binding to keep it together. But in 1963, this won the award for the Dutton Animal Book Award in 1963. And the name of this book is Rascal. You can find it. You can go online and find this book. It's called Rascal. And what this book is about is a young boy in 1918, okay? He found a baby raccoon. And he raised this raccoon. And in the meantime, while he was raising this raccoon, in his living room of his parents' home, he built a canoe. He built his own canoe. And the adventures that he would go on with this handmade canoe and his raccoon were just absolutely, it'll take any boy and put you into the adventure mode like you don't even know. I would have dreams after I would read until it was time to go to sleep, and then I would just have my own dreams of adventure all night, you know? I had decided to let my raccoon make his own decision. But I took his collar off and his leash, and I put him in the pocket of my corduroy jacket as something to remember him by if he should choose to leave me. Well, it goes on to say they sat together in the canoe, and it was a moonlit night, and he heard what he wanted to hear, and that was the purr of a female raccoon. And Rascal alerted right away. And he paddled closer to the shore. Yep. Rascal jumped off the bow of the canoe, swam over the shore, and turned around and looked at the gentleman that brought him up. I forget his name, but this is just a wonderful book. This inspired me to, it just overblew my inspiration for the outdoors and my want to be in the outdoors, a sense of adventure. Rascal, unbelievable, great book. If any of you folks out there have kids, have young kids, get this book and let them read it. It's so intriguing. It is so intriguing. It's just a wonderful book. Again, it's called Rascal, okay? Now, for my third book, okay? This is awesome. Check this out, okay? This book here is called The 2-Ounce Backpacker. This book weighs 2 ounces. The pages Everything is water repellent. It's not waterproof. But the pages, there's a bunch of notes in the back, note pages. And he says you can use them for rolling papers or toilet paper. But this book isn't just about backpacking. What's really nice about this book is that it is what it says. It's a problem-solving manual for the wilds. Okay? So, this doesn't focus on how to pack your pack, you know, all kinds of stuff like that a lot of backpacking books do. It's interesting what... Let me just read a little bit on the how-tos. Well, no, I'll give you a quick overview. This feather-light little book will keep you out of trouble in the wilds by helping you make decisions. By helping you make decisions. Yeah. Like a veteran wilderness traveler, it will help you get most of the food and gear you need to carry on your back, making your trip safer, more comfortable, and above all, fun. How to make quick repairs to packs, boots, tents, beds, stoves. Choose and develop a campsite for maximum comfort and shelter. Deal with emergencies, storms, and other difficulties. Treat blisters, hypothermia, sunburn, bleeding, elevation sickness, etc. Keep snug, dry, comfortable, and warm in heavy weather. Okay. Does a book have to have does the title of a book have to have the word survival to get the information that's important for you to comfortably exist with minimal needs in the outdoors? No, it doesn't. Okay? It also says plus tips on fire building, cooking, water treatment, getting found when lost, hiking, climbing, cross-country, and route finding techniques. Look at the price, $4.95. If you don't have one of these, get one. This is fantastic. There's also, this book here gave me a whole different perspective of hiking. When you hike on a trail, and you become fatigued, whether it's the terrain or it's the distance. There's actual ways of thinking and ways of walking that can change that whole experience, can make that whole experience wonderful. I know it might be hard to imagine, but there's a chapter in this book that's called How to Walk. And I was blown away when I read it. And I use those theories every time I go out in the woods. Every time I go hiking, I use what I learned from this book. So anyhow, folks, that's my response to this tag. Chris, thanks a lot for tagging me. And, jeez, look at my stuff from Terry Milburn. Look at this beautiful fire kit he sent me, right? It's a double. It's got 2 Altoid pins and it's a sweetheart. And I got his Pop's knife right here, right? Alright, so, this is who I'm going to tag. Jesse. Rain Dance. Rain Dance Bushcraft up in Canada, my friend. Wait, I got to get my flag for you. Jesse, buddy. You've been tagged. Okay? I want your 3 pieces of literature that have influenced you to build your experiences in the outdoors. All right, buddy? I also want to tag Mark, Backwoods Pipe, my buddy, up in Canada, another Canadian friend of mine. Mark is, he's a great guy, and I would just like his perspective. Mark is a very interesting guy, and I would like to see what you think, Mark. What are your pieces of literature, 3 pieces of literature that, you know, have inspired you or that you refer to when it comes to the outdoors? And the other one is my buddy Vic Fazio. You're tagged, buddy. 3 pieces of literature that have influenced you in the outdoors that you use as go-to guides. And let's see what you come up with. Anyhow, everybody have fun with this. I want to say to Dave Whipple, Dave, thank you so much for starting this. This is going to be fun. I hope this grows viral. And I'll talk to you soon. I got plenty of stuff to be sharing with you folks. Thank you so much for the great responses on the latest videos. And I'll be back with you soon. Talk to you then.